Welcome to the Pro Aging Podcast. I'm Steve Gurney, founder of the Positive Aging Community. We're excited that you can join us for our interactive discussions with pioneers and thought leaders on a wide variety of topics related to aging and longevity. We're able to bring these discussions to you along with copies of the Positive Aging Sourcebook thanks to the support of our Positive Aging Community Champions. Visit proaging.com to connect with them and find hundreds of resources. Laughter yoga is a tool which delivers the benefits of laughter on command and demand without relying on outside reasons and conditions of life. Grief yoga is designed for anyone looking to express and release the struggles caused by grief through movement, breath, and sound. So let's jump into a wonderful discussion on these two interesting practices led by Eileen Wolfington. For this. And then I got to let our friends in from YouTube and LinkedIn. Okay. Today is one of those topics that I am super charged up about because I know nothing about laughter yoga and grief yoga. And I love it when I go to yoga classes. I benefit from that greatly. But I tell you, I am really delighted about today's discussion because of Eileen Wolfington, and I can't wait for you all to meet her and get to know her a little bit better. So Eileen, if you want to join us on stage here, we're going to hear a little bit about your story and what led you in this area. But, you know, folks, one of the things that I'm always very sensitive about is having a guest on here that appears like they're selling something. And so I said to Eileen before we jumped on, and I was like, Eileen, so just, let me know, how can we, how do you make a living? How can people get in touch with you? She says, Steve, I just want to spread the word about these two forms of yoga. I was like, this has never happened before. This is amazing. So we have somebody here today who has benefited from these two forms of practice. She's going to reference some of the quote unquote experts in the area. But Eileen, as far as I'm concerned, there's no better expert than a real life story, somebody who's benefited from a topic. So I need to shut up and we need to get to know you. Tell us how you got involved in this and a little bit about your background.
Well, I live in St. Louis, Missouri in the US. So it's still morning for me. I know it's your lunchtime. I'm between you and a full tummy. And I discovered during this decade of my life that I've been exploring modalities that calm the mind, body, and spirit. It's as if I'm weaving a fabric or weaving thread in a fabric using these modalities as part of my self-care journey. And so I'm not shy to share my age because I feel like we all age gracefully. I'm 67, and so I started exploring non-traditional forms of medicine, if you will. Not by search, but I was sitting in a chiropractor's office and she had a brochure that said Healing Touch Level 1, form of energy work that I never heard of. I took the couple trainings and said, I got to practice. But, our society, especially in the Western world, doesn't always look at energy medicine as traditional. So it was hard to find people that wanted to let me practice on them. But a hospice nurse said, Eileen, we could use a volunteer that does what you do. And the training to be a volunteer for a hospice was incredible. I learned so much that it put me on a journey to learn about end of life, death, and the dying process. And so when I tell people what I do, they say, what? You went from one extreme, of grief, movement, and now you laugh? And by the way, you can laugh through grief, not in early grief, but everyone who teaches grief work has a personal story to tell. And so my personal story began when my father was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and he managed it for 5 years. But then the day came when the doctor said, Eileen, and to my family, the prognosis doesn't look very good. It metastasized, so it spread to his bones. To hear that the person you love so dearly has 6 months to a year to potentially live, it broke my heart in a million pieces. But the training I received to be a hospice volunteer, that led me to learn about end-of-life doulas, which is another topic, but a model that is similar to birthing doulas that welcome the first breath of life, and end-of-life doula witnesses and is present for the last breath of life. Little did I know that what I learned was preparing me to have a practicum, but with my own dad. And so I had a choice to never laugh again when I hurt, or to find meaning in his loss and remember him and the joy that he brought to me and everyone he met. And so before I started to study laughter yoga, Steve, I wanted to know, how does yoga benefit people? I didn't really do yoga because it's slow moving. I know there's some fast practices, but I didn't want to be crowded with a bunch of people lying on a mat. I was embarrassed, to do these poses. I have a little bit of, pain on a hip, and I couldn't do some. So I said, I'm going to take the teacher training, not to teach, but to learn the philosophy and methodology. And when you learn yoga practice, which is fascinating, by the way, I discovered that I don't have to be flexible. I move according to my ability. And we were asked to experience other types of yoga. So when I did a search, I came across grief yoga.
Wow.
Taught by Paul Denniston. And at the time, he was writing a book about it. So I took his grief movement training, which looks very, very similar.
Here, I'm pulling up this is the website, which I dropped into chat.
Thank you. So that your viewers can visit his site. In his book, he wrote about creating a class that he himself would want to take that honored his grief and anger. He lost his dear sister to cancer. And the mission of his practice is to use movement, breath, and sound to release pain and suffering, and to connect you back to love. And he says that it's not so much about physical flexibility, it's about emotional liberation.
Man.
That was the word, two words that grabbed me. I didn't need to have physical flexibility. During a grief yoga session, there are a variety of postures that occur. You'll stretch, you'll extend, you'll relax. you'll follow a sequence of poses that flow. Some dance movements may be incorporated, and it helps you to shake off that stress and anxiety that you feel when you're hurting inside. The postures are nurturing, kind of like restorative yoga, when you hold a yoga pose longer than normal. And that's when you use props, a couple bolsters, some blankets, etc. But what it does, it calms the body and quiets the mind. And so sorrow is difficult to accept, but you transform yourself when you're on the mat. It allows you to be kind to yourself, and to just be open to new possibilities. Grief yoga incorporates a cycle of compassionate transformation. And so that I remember them, I number them. But all of this is on his website and in his book. But he creates movements using breath and sound and yoga. Number one, awareness. Where does grief live in your body? And what emotions are you suppressing rather than expressing and releasing to ease the pain? The second one is expression. Because when you suppress those emotions, you cause sickness. And those emotions don't allow you to let the healing process begin. The third one is connection. Steve, when we flow with a guided meditation of grace, love, or even forgiveness, it helps us to reconnect to things or to people from whom we were disconnected during our grief. And many people connect back to joy. And I'll share that when I introduce laughter yoga. The fourth element is surrender. Giving yourself permission to release your pain, not the loved one that you lost. And it helps you to stay connected to the love that you shared with the person that you lost. And the fifth element is evolution. Paul says, you will always have grief because you have love, but you will evolve. And grief yoga is one tool. I suspect there are many, but this tool worked for me to connect me back to my courage and my resilience. And so each of these elements have their specific postures and flowing exercises. And so I'm going to demonstrate some with you. You're welcome to do them with me. If any of our viewers want to do them with me, I'm actually sitting on a chair. I'm not going to demonstrate from a mat on the floor, but we always begin our practice, of course, with breathing. Take an inhale in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. You can rest your hands comfortably on your lap or your table or desk in front of you. Take another deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth, releasing oxygen longer than the inhale. And one more time, deep breath in and exhale through the mouth. And during that exhale, you can sigh it out. Maybe there's something that you want to release, but you can't. And so this exercise that I'm going to show you is called jaw release. Because sometimes we get tight in the jaw when we're so tense, we can't communicate. So I want you to put your hands together like you're forming a fist. And I'm going to ask you to just loosely with your voice, make the sound of ah while you shake your hands like this. Ah. Very good. Very good. Another exercise related to expression. Oftentimes we ask ourselves when we lose someone, why? Why did someone so young have to leave the world in this moment? And so we use our arms to raise them up in the air and say, why? 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 Maybe we're angry, so we shout, why? Maybe we're angry at our source, if it's God, and we make fists and we say, why? 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 And you repeat that a series of times until you begin to feel that anger or hurt that you might not release with family or friends, but in a grief yoga class, which is sacred space, whatever you release, tears, maybe you'll shout. It's okay, because that's how the healing begins. There's also another one, Steve, called pulling the weeds. Imagine a garden in front of you, and just with your hand, pull a weed and just toss it behind you. Maybe with your opposite hand, pull another weed. And just, again, I should have got a second opinion. I didn't. I should have been there, and I wasn't. I should have called mom or dad more often. And you just pull them until we learn how to release those emotions that we suppress. Physically, verbally, prayerfully, the healing is delayed and delayed. One of my favorite is liquid grace, where you imagine a fountain of water in front of you, where you dip your hands and you lift the water above your head and imagine that it's flowing over you gently, and just blessing yourself with mantras that say, again, lifting water, wash away the pain and the agony that I feel. Wash away the hurt. Cleanse me with love and memories and joy. And I'll use my father as an example. His name is Victor. And we encourage participants to name their loved one, to dedicate their practice to their loved one. And then we go through a more series of exercises and conclude with a guided meditation. And surprisingly, Steve, you can laugh during grief yoga, but it's done ever so gently, because I suspect that you and everyone on this call has laughed with a loved one who's no longer here. And that segues me to how I became a laughter yoga teacher.
All right. Well, before we jump into that, I have a few questions, and I'm not sure if anybody in the audience does, but number one, this is wonderful. Now I'm reminded of how we connected, because I believe we were doing another discussion on death and dying, and I think you were in the audience and you said that one of the ways that I get through this transition is through grief yoga, and I'd never heard of that before. And then we connected and you said, well, and I also have this little thing, laughter yoga, that I practice. So this is wonderful. And you articulated this so well, but I have a few questions. Number one, these grief yoga classes, are they, how widespread are they? And I guess on the website, I can find the practitioners, and then is there sort of are there some virtual settings? And my other question about the classes is, in general, like how long are these sort of like the practitioners that do this? Are they drop-in classes, or are they sort of an 8-week session? How does all that work?
Steve, all of the above that you described. Many yoga teachers who want Paul's certification will take his grief yoga training. And you know that when you learn from the best, people tend to lean toward you. And so there are many practitioners that introduce grief movement into their practice. They may not call it grief yoga, and that's okay, because they have learned something that resonates with them. And the way that I stayed connected with what I call my tribe, because not everyone is comfortable talking about grief and loss, Paul offers a membership to his group of students called Spark. So for 1 year, I joined.
Here we go.
I joined so that I could stay connected with other practitioners, and some of them weren't practitioners. They were people who suffered a loss, but they wanted to be in a sacred place where they could just release what no longer served them. And so I'm just grateful that he did that. And I recommend, wherever your listeners live, to simply search who offers it, and it might be under another title. Mm-hmm. Because grief is a word that people avoid, I don't call it that. I call it compassionate movement. And in my description, I may mention, if you've lost someone, had a relationship breakup, maybe you lost your home or a job, this is the class for you.
And, one of the things that I think is wonderful that's become really popular lately are the death cafes, are these informal gatherings where people can talk about death. And it may be that they're going through grief, or it may be that they just want to express concerns about their future, or what have you. And I could see, this style of practice being aligned with like a death cafe or with a hospice, palliative care. There's just so many applications. I'm just so glad that you introduced it to me and our community. And I would love to reach out to Paul, and maybe that we can get him on at one of these future discussions to talk a little bit more in detail on that. And so and I'm glad that you, folks, these things are unscripted. So we had I didn't know where we were going to go, but I'm glad you started with grief yoga. And now we're kind of transitioning into laughter yoga, which again is something that I'd never heard of, but I can see where, when you were talking about the various movements and the way that the practice, there's so many applications to learning that, in terms of you've had a hard day at work, somebody's not treating you well. I love the pulling the weeds analogy, the water, all of that. And I can see where these are tools that can help us get through those tough times, whether they be the loss of a loved one or, hey, look, most people tune into our discussions because they're in the middle of this emotionally challenging caregiving process. And so let's talk a little bit about laughter yoga and what is that and how does that work?
Earlier in my conversation, I shared that when I took my yoga teacher training, we were asked to experience other types of yoga. I came across laughter yoga, founded by a medical doctor from India, Dr. Madan Kataria, in 1995. He believes that laughter is medicine. He, his wife Madhuri, and 3 friends frequented a local park in Mumbai, where they went for morning walks, and they started telling jokes and laughing. Others saw this and started to join them. And before long, they had about 40 or 50 people together laughing hysterically. However, jokes can be unkind. And so someone felt they should stop. But Dr. Madan said, I will see you in the morning and I'll come up with a solution. And so he did. He said, this morning, we're going to laugh for the health of it. And what started with joke telling evolved to no jokes, no comedy, and no drama. We add laughter to childlike playfulness. And Steve, this practice of laughter yoga exists now in over 120 countries. It didn't catch on in the US in the mid-90s because it started in India, and the US wasn't always embracing practices from India. And so when it became popular in early 2000, people began to discover the benefits of laughter. And the reason it's called laughter yoga is because of the yogic breathing that we do in between our laughter exercises to bring more oxygen to the body and the brain and to create more energy. We use eye contact and childlike playfulness because it's transformative and it's joyful. It has been said that children laugh up to 300 times a day. And they laugh, they use their body and then they use their mind. Adults who now have experienced pain and loss and anger, they laugh up to 20 times a day because they process things cognitively in their mind and then their body reacts. Because you promote the senior community, what I love about laughter yoga is it doesn't need any props. I do a lot of workshops in low income and immigrant communities because I speak Spanish. They don't have a lot of resources, so I don't want them to feel they have to buy fancy clothing to exercise because we don't even need a yoga mat. But once they learn that there's a cool down and a guided meditation at the end, then they bring mats because they'd rather lie down than stay seated on a chair and just let themselves go. So Steve, when my dad was diagnosed with metastasized cancer. I thought I'd never laugh again. And my husband said, Eileen, come and watch this show, Impractical Jokers. 4 friends that do the most ridiculous things.
I've seen it. Yeah.
I laughed so hard. That was the moment that I felt my healing begin. And not only that, my dad loved to tell jokes. I grew up in Wisconsin. He lived in Wisconsin. And I didn't see him often, but when I did, he would tell me the same joke he told me the last time I visited. And I would laugh the same way I did when he told me the joke the first time. He did magic card tricks, disappearing coins. We'd sit in a restaurant. He'd wait till the family next to us stopped eating, and then he'd go and entertain them. Nobody was ever angry. I don't do that, but I will laugh in a moment's notice. There's a quiet group, meeting hasn't started yet. I say, you want to see what laughter yoga is? So I'm going to demonstrate it for you.
Okay, great.
When we begin, and I want you to do this with me. Well, I know you'll do it, but oftentimes people say, what are we going to do? Especially in corporate environments, I think they're feel awkward. So I just have you brush off all the way down to your feet, all those inhibitions and limiting beliefs that don't allow you to just be who you are. And after you do that, then I have you tap in the same areas to start activating your lymphatic system. And after you do that, again, I'm doing an abbreviated version because we don't have a full hour.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Okay, then I have you open your palms wide and begin to clap to activate the acupressure points in the palms of your hands. Once they get started and everyone's participating, we give it a beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Then we add ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho,
Ha, ha, ha.
one more time. Ho, ho,
Ha, ha, ha. Ho,
ho, ho,
ha, ha, ha.
ha. That is our chant in between laughter exercises. And then we also cheer each other on because we're not laughing at anyone. We're laughing with each other. And that cheer is very good, very good. Yay! Again, very good.
Good, very good. Yay.
One more time. Very good, very good.
Yay.
Yay.
Man, well, I can tell you, I've been in a lot of corporate meetings in my 33 years of business. And I can tell you that if meetings started that way, it would present people with a much more positive, upbeat attitude, no matter how angry or concerned they are about the topic of the meeting. If you kicked it off that way. The other thing that that this reminds me a little bit of is something that I've enjoyed is improv. I'm not a person that does improv on the stages, but I like practicing improv with other folks, and that has some aspects of it that can be more supportive and less judgmental, which is really, I think, one of the main benefits that I see of laughter yoga is that to just wash, just like the grief yoga in many ways, is just wash away those previous thoughts and let's begin a new life and take advantage of all it has to offer.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on those benefit that you mentioned. It will reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. It strengthens your immune system Because when you're taking that deep breath in and then exhaling, you're releasing the toxicity that's in your lungs. And we don't take enough deep breaths like that in a regular day. And so you're getting more oxygen to your body and your brain. It helps to keep your mind positive during difficult times, like that meeting you're walking into. And it burns calories and it can improve your cardiovascular health. Now, there are some contraindications, like I don't encourage someone who might be, having a baby or just had abdominal surgery, or if they have limited mobility, just as in any typical yoga class, you only move according to what your body will allow you to do. Okay. And so when we laugh from different parts of our body. Some of us laugh from the belly. Put your hands on your belly, and I want to hear. Now I'd like you to put your hands at your lungs, and I want to hear.
Well, it really makes you start off with what I would say is a fake laugh. But in both of those experiences, and I'm not somebody that laughs out loud a lot, but in both of those experiences, I had an authentic laugh at the end of doing that, because I'm sitting here, it's like, I can't believe I'm doing this, and this is recorded, but it's fun. I feel better. I'm in a better mood.
And some people laugh from their throat. So could you just
once again, did it. Yeah.
You said something important, that you started out just going along with it. I can't believe I'm doing this. Fake it till you make it. Physiologically, your body doesn't know the difference between real or simulated laughter. Steve, in every class that I have led, there's always the person who came a little bit under the weather, or something happened, the traffic annoyed them, they had a bad day at work. When I begin a session, and I didn't do it today, but I like to ask everyone, rate your mood in this moment on a scale of 1 to 10. 1, I don't feel good at all. 10, I feel great. And they write down a number, or they try to remember it. Because at the end of the session, I will ask them to raise their hand if their mood stayed the same, if it declined, or if it increased. I did a laughter session for the Southwest Cancer Health Center. This was a retreat for cancer patients and their caregivers and staff. When I assessed them at the end, everyone unanimously raised their hand that their mood increased.
Yeah, I don't see how it can't. And I love that, Linda, when you talked about your mood, she put in a 7. Linda, I'm glad you're having a great day. 7 is a great number. Anything over 5 means things are positive. So that's awesome.
All right. So a couple of more exercises.
Okay.
Now, I mentioned that it's great exercise. You can replace your sit-ups with smile ups. I watch many laughter yoga leaders lead sessions, so I often replicate what they do. I want you to put, and everyone who's watching, do this unless you're embarrassed because you're in a group, public place. Put your thumb and your index finger together on each side of your mouth and just lift. Lift it a little higher. Just a little higher. Well, go ahead and wrap your ears.
Oh, this is great.
Now, every morning from to this day forward, when you do that on its own, put your hands down. I want you to do 10 smile ups.
Oh my,
Sit ups or chin ups.
yep.
You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It never failed. Eileen, I have to say, every single exercise that you've thrown at me, number one, I'm a little bit apprehensive, and it's sort of like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I got the camera on me. But at the end of each one of them, I was laughing authentically and I felt good. And this is amazing. Oh, and Linda, who said she's a 7, she started out as a 3 and now she's laughing naturally. So big thumbs up to Linda. I'm glad that we were able to make your day a better one today, because you've certainly made my day a better one, Eileen.
I'll tell you, I know that I only have this captive audience today for this precious hour, but I want you to know I am not kidding. Laughter yoga is practiced all over the world. When you visit the Laughter Yoga website, you can look up where in your community are there laughter yoga leaders or teachers or master trainers.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's amazing how many resources are here. But so the Laughter Yoga website, which I'll drop into chat again. You can see there that you've got this finder, and you can find laughter yoga professionals, training worldwide, events worldwide. And what I love here is laughter clubs. And look at them all. I mean, there's pages of these all over the world.
Yeah.
I had no idea this existed. This is really cool.
That's why I love talking about this.
Yeah.
Steve, there are laughter clubs by phone. When I have time, I attend one for 15 minutes in the morning. I attend another one, 30 minutes. That's all. I attend another one for 1 hour. Just like with any skill, there's basic laughter training, which is 1 hour for 6 sessions. And that's for family and friends and yourself. Or you can be a laughter yoga leader where you can lead a laughter club. And it's simply inviting friends in a location where you meet and you laugh. And it leads to possibly being invited to a hospital, a prison, a school, a company, a senior facility. And if you really, really enjoy it and you want to teach others to lead people to laugh, then you become a teacher. There are just a few master trainers in the world who teach in person. During COVID, of course, we had to meet on Zoom. And when you do this practice in person, it really makes a big difference.
Oh, I can't imagine. Yeah. And I'm so glad that, let's see, who was it? Larissa shared this map in chat there, and just look at all of these all over the world. I mean, look at how popular this is in Europe and the Middle East. It's absolutely amazing. But we've got plenty of resources here in the US as well.
So Steve, I want to share something with you. When I took the basic training, we were given a challenge to laugh for 1 minute every day for 40 days. Record that minute and post it on a group page. That was the early days that I was doing this. It was a little embarrassing, But after watching the other videos of my other colleagues, I started doing it. So I'm going to ask you to laugh with me for a minute. I'm going to laugh with you, but so I can't laugh and count at the same time. So I'm going to use my fingers. So when I'm done, then you can pause. Begin. Doing that every day for 40 days. But there is a Facebook page.
Oh, Larissa is great. She shared that with me. She shared that with all of us in
Yes.
chat. So here it is.
Yes.
40 days, 1 minute laughter challenge. And so I guess, well, you can join this group here, which I'm going to join. I'm into taking on new challenges, and this could be one that I could see myself taking on here.
And that already exists. But Steve, can you imagine if you created a positive aging laughter club? Then all of your listeners that have listened to all of your 300 plus discussions can just join in. I haven't started one yet because I'm still waiting to see what day works that isn't competing with anyone, although it can be done anywhere. And because India is the founder of laughter yoga, you can laugh every day of the year. By visiting their website, it tells you how to sign up. So you get their Zoom link. And because it's Indian time, then you have to figure out what it is in your time zone. And so it's amazing. Just as a traditional laughter yoga class begins with a warm-up, it ends with a laughter meditation and a guided relaxation meditation, often referred to as yoga nidra, and then we finish. And so when we do the laughter meditation, you laughed with me for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you, because we have time, we have a little time yet. I'm going to ask you and our audience, and this is what was really helpful for people who come to laughter yoga, that might be when they learn that I also talk about grief and loss. I asked them to think about the last time they laughed, either with their loved one that they miss or someone who's living. Think about that time, or the movie you saw, or the joke you heard, and just start laughing.
Oh man, that's great.
And so oftentimes I will time them because we're obviously doing this live in a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
The laughter, it may continue a minute or longer, sometimes very long if you have lots of cacklers and hecklers, but it will die down and fade. And when that occurs is when I play meditative music.
Okay, and I think you sent me a YouTube. And but before we play this, I want to spotlight Larissa, who's in the audience, who's actually a laughter teacher in Maryland.
Oh.
So Larissa, thanks for your contributions. But there is Larissa. So for those that are in Maryland that are interested in this, reach out, visit Larissa's website there, and that's really cool. Okay, so I think I've got the YouTube queued up here for the meditative music, correct?
For the first one, I'll be very, very brief, just to give a sample of how we end a session. Okay, so you want me to start it? Go ahead and start it. And everyone who's listening, if you're in a place where you can just sit comfortably and breathe normally, I'd like you to close your eyes or gaze softly downward. And just be aware of your body, from your head to your toe. Allow your mind to just relax. Your facial muscles, your neck, and your shoulders. Just relax. Relax your arms, your hands, your fingers. Relax your upper, middle, and lower back. And if your mind wanders, return back to your breath and just relax. Relax your hips, your sit bones, your thighs and your knees, all the way down your calves. Relax. Relax your ankles, your feet, and your toes. And just relax. 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 I'm going to count backwards from number 5, at which time I'd like you to stretch, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just stretch. Be grateful for this time as you discovered how laughter can increase and sustain your joy, how harmony is created with your body and your brain, how your health will improve when you begin to smile each day. Laughter is heartfelt. Your relationships with others will improve. And laughter is a hopeful practice, a practice that will allow you to be resilient even during difficulties. So Steve, I'm going to have you end this song. And if there's any burning questions, I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, I was going to have you give them my gratitude song.
Oh, now, did you send me another?
I did.
Wow. Zahida says people crying out loud here. Some great comments, and I love Linda. It must give you great joy to generate joy for you and with people. And you know, Eileen, this is really special because, folks, Eileen's not selling a book. Like, she is just sharing her experience of these two practices and how it helped her. And it's really helped me. I mean, looking at the world through a different lens and different ways to kind of walk on this planet to get us through those tough times. In the case of laughter yoga, what it makes me realize is that it's this wonderful opportunity to help us enjoy life more too. I mean, okay, folks, okay, if you've got any, I got your link there.
Thank you.
I'm going to look into the laughter club idea, because I'm always trying to do new and different things with the positive aging community, and that would be a fun one. But or maybe I can team up with Larissa there in Maryland, and we can do something. But this has been wonderful, and we're nearing the top of the hour. So the folks, I dropped in Eileen's contact information, and so feel free to reach out to her if there's anything that resonated here. As you can see, she's just in it to spread the good word here, and which I love. And but so you want me to load up that other video?
Yeah, I want to just say these last words. Go ahead, you can start it, Steve, because they'll hear me when I speak, right?
I think so, yeah.
I want to thank all of you for attending today. I practice gratitude every day. You could have been anywhere this past hour, but you chose to be here with Steve and I today in this moment.
Gratitude before me.
Gratitude before me.
Gratitude behind me.
Gratitude to the left of me.
Gratitude to the right of me.
Gratitude is to the right of me.
Gratitude above me.
Gratitude is above me.
Gratitude below me.
Gratitude is below me.
Gratitude within me.
Gratitude's within me.
Gratitude all around me.
Gratitude's all around me.
I'm so grateful.
And for your presence and
I'm
attendance
so
today,
grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I hope that you
I'm so
find
grateful.
both of these practices
I'm so grateful.
worth exploring.
I'm
It's
so
not for yourself, for the people
I'm
that you
so
serve,
grateful.
or the people that you
I'm
love.
so grateful.
And remember to be grateful.
Gratitude before
It
me.
surrounds us
Gratitude
before us.
behind me.
It surrounds us
Gratitude
behind
to
us,
the left of me.
to the left
Gratitude to the right of me.
to the right of you.
Gratitude above
Gratitude
me.
is above you
Gratitude below
and
me.
below you.
Gratitude within me.
It's within you and
Gratitude
me.
all around me.
It's all around us.
I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
grateful.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful.
And thank you, Steve.
Oh, thank you. I'm in a great mood thanks to this discussion. I get in good moods after all of these, but you've introduced me, and I can tell that the audience feels the same way. So we can finish off our week with some new techniques, making some new connections, and knowing how to deal with loss a little bit better. And just remind everybody, I recorded this, and so you can share this with your loved ones or go back and refer to it later. Eileen, this is wonderful, and I'm gonna reach out to you, and we're gonna share this discussion with the laughter yoga and the grief yoga gurus there, and maybe we can have you back on and have a conversation with them as well.
Thank you, Steve.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.